Hey, this is Double R. I wanted to tell you that Anchor by Spotify is a great and easy way to make a podcast with everything you need and all in one place. Anchor has the tools to allow you to record, edit your podcast straight from your phone or your computer. When hosting with Anchor, you can distribute your podcast to all listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Best of all, it's totally free. So go down the Anchor app or go to Anchor.fm to get started. This is the Let's Roll podcast with your host, Double R. What's up, everybody? It's Double R, the host of Rose the Most, and this is the Let's Roll podcast. So, in today's episode, I'm going to talk about and discuss what it is to get old with a disability and much more, because this is Getting Old. Happy birthday, my birthday episode. And as of this recording, we're recording this on 5/20/22. And my birthday's not here yet. But by the time this comes out, my birthday event party would have been this past weekend. We'll talk about that more right after this. Well, I would discuss what I did this past weekend, but it hasn't happened yet. But what I have planned is I have a dinner planned at Texas Roadhouse, and then I have a birthday party event, whatever you want to call it, at Main Event. All this is happening in Tomball, Texas. So, but again, that hasn't happened yet, so I really can't talk about what's going to happen or did happen. So, but we're just going to discuss basically me getting old. So, today, this episode came out today on my birthday, and today I will and am 52. I am 52 years old. I have told some of my life story through other episodes. I've done an episode with my mom discussing, when I was born. I talked about all kinds of things about my life. Just a brief update, not update, but recap. When I was born with osteogenesis imperfecta. I was, which is brittle bones. They say disease. I like to prefer it as a condition. And osteogenesis imperfecta, if you break it down, osteo is bones, genesis is in the beginning, and imperfecta is basically saying they're imperfect. My bones are imperfect. It's a genetic mutation of a gene, and there's a whole episode that me and my friend did that's called Wishbone Day. It's a 2-part episode, so look for that. We discuss more about OI, so I'm not really going to get into specifics of OI right now, but that's what I was born with. I was given them like 3 days to live, and now, on June 13, 2022, I am 52 years old. What is it like getting older with a disability? There's not a whole lot of difference in someone with my condition or my disability getting older as in other people getting older. I still have all the same issues that pretty much anybody would have getting older. I got high blood pressure. I have borderline diabetes. I'm overweight. Things ache. Things hurt. Some of the issues that I have could be addressed with more confidence and more discipline. I could get my weight down. I could probably feel a lot better if my weight was down, and it's just an ongoing struggle. Like it's no different for anybody else that is struggling with weight issues. It's just an ongoing struggle. It's in my head. I can do it, but whatever else is telling me, you can do it tomorrow. Like, I don't know. It is what it is. But sometimes I look back throughout my life and can't believe what I have accomplished over my life with what I was given at birth. And, But I've said this before about me, growing up, that I've always felt like I've been behind the 8 ball, or, say I'm not going to say I'll say a few years behind is how I will put it. And what I mean by that, like I was behind as in things that I should have experienced at a certain age, where, just a brief example. Most teenagers start to learn or drive around the age 15, 16. I didn't I didn't learn how to drive until I was 18, 19. I didn't experience, like I went to my prom, but I didn't do the typical thing like we do here in Texas, is go to your prom and then go down to Galveston after the prom, like go down to the beach. So I didn't do that because, the beach is not a great place for someone in a wheelchair. So I've always, looked at myself, experienced things in life. I wasn't, now, I know a part of my reasons for kind of being behind the 8 ball, or a couple of years behind, or whatever, however you want to say it, was I learned to be cautious about things I did because of my disability. So I didn't, it wasn't until high school that I started going out and doing things with my friends away from my family. And when I say that, most of the time I was with a family member. So I didn't go anywhere. Even when I say I didn't go to friends, I went to friends' houses in my neighborhood, but I really didn't go out on my own without family members until I got to high school. So experience going to parties and a little bit of drinking, which is very little, by the way. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I do prescription medication because I have to, but I didn't experience a lot of things. I didn't experience, we'll say, sex until I was way older. Now, when I say sex, I didn't experience, any kind of intercourse or anything like that until I was in my 30s. Now, did I kiss girls when I was younger in high school and junior high and stuff? Yeah, sure, I did that. But I never had a chance to do anything more than that. Not to say that you should be doing that at that age. Anyway, I'm just saying things that I didn't experience, Once I got out of school, or actually before I got out of school, my semester, middle of my semester of high school, middle of my high school years, in my junior year, I started working. So now I'm already working. I'm still living at home. I'm not driving yet. I didn't start driving until, like I said, after I graduated. The last year of my high school, I took driver's ed, and then a year later, I had a car in my driver's license to drive. So once I graduated, I was working, still living at home. I lived at home until I was 30 years old, or right before I was 30. Anyway, I continued to work. I moved into my own apartment. I had sex for the first time. And this all happened in 2000, in my 30 years old. Let me back up a little bit. When I was in high school, I started my DJ business. I started a business and I was working a regular job. And at one time, I was DJing and working two jobs. One full-time job and one part-time job. And DJing, all at the same time. But again, I moved out, got my own apartment, finally had sex, fell in love, got my heart broke, met my fiance, got married, got divorced, and now I'm back home and I'm helping manage my mom's money, finances, and taking care of her, make sure she's being taken care of, and all that good stuff. So that's pretty much my whole life, my whole 52 years, in a short story like that. When I was younger, and I will say from when I was born all the way up until I'm gonna say my high school years, I would crawl around, at least around my house, or anywhere but going out in public. Like I would, if I went out in public or we went somewhere like school or shopping or whatever, I used a wheelchair. But at home, and I would crawl around. I would use riding toys to go, down the sidewalk to my friend's house or whatever. But I didn't use a wheelchair very much when I was younger. It wasn't until my high school years that I started using my wheelchair more. And it's weird. The older I got, the less I could do as far as what I could do when I was younger. Like I crawled everywhere. I couldn't crawl. I could kind of slide or scoot or drag my body right now, but to actually physically crawl like I used to, no, that ain't happening. I've said it before. I did learn to walk when I was in the 4th grade. But I decided for me, walking wasn't safe, so I used my wheelchair or I crawled at home. Of course, I kind of briefly said this. I graduated high school, which is another big accomplishment. There's just things in my life that I look back on and just go, wow, I did a lot of stuff. I like to celebrate. I mean, my birthday is important to me, and I like to celebrate it. Most of the time, if it wasn't my mom planning a party, it's me planning a party, or a get-together or whatever. I want to see my friends and stuff. I want to socialize a little bit on my birthday because, it means a lot to me. I wasn't told I wasn't going to live but 3 days, but my parents were. And, it's a big accomplishment to make it to 52 years old. And I hope I got many years to come. And, last year I started this podcast. One, to give me something to do. I have fun doing this podcast. I don't like doing it that much by myself, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes. And so I don't mind doing it by myself. It just it's hard to keep it going by yourself without having somebody to bounce off. But anyway, hopefully in the future, I will have more guests. I will have, more interactions with other people on the podcast. But really, that being said, getting old for someone with a disability might be a little different than somebody that's average or normal or however you want to say it. But there's a lot of things that we go through the same thing. We develop new problems, and I will say for me, one of my things that I'm kind of, proud of is that I adapt pretty well to different circumstances. So if these circumstances are developing, like, for example, my eyes started going really bad, and it came to find out I had a condition called keratoconus, which is the misshaping of your cornea. And when it first started happening, I was like, oh, this is not good. I can't see out of one eye. I mean, it slowly progressed in the other eye. And so I had to adapt to things like not being able to see certain things. And it was really bad because I just started my video game channel, which is something else I've done. And when it started getting really bad, and it started making it to where I couldn't play the video games anymore. And then I finally got it all worked out and got special contacts, but the only downfall to that is I can't wear my contacts. I could only wear my contacts for a certain amount of time. So that kind of, like, damn, that sucks. But I had to adapt. I had to work around that. I had to figure out, okay, if I can only wear my contacts for a certain amount of time, let me figure out the time that I can wear them where I could do the things that I want to do. And over time, you just get used to things and you figure it out. So I'm really good at adapting now. I might resist it at first, but it is what it is. Again, I can't believe I'm 52 years old. And I'm happy that I'm 52 years old. And hopefully that today, when this episode is out, I will still be 52 years old and still be here. I'm pretty sure I will be. God willing. But if not, then I didn't make it. But who knows? But this is the birthday episode. Getting old. Happy birthday. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna get old. Don't worry about it. Don't be in a rush to get old either. It's funny how when you're younger, you can't wait until you're older, and then you get older, and then you don't want to get older. Like, it's weird. Like, this is weird. But that being said, again, guys, thank you for checking out the Let's Roll podcast. Once again, please go to YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to reach 100. If we haven't done so by this episode, but even if we have reached 100, just subscribe to the channel. I release old episodes every Saturday on the YouTube channel as a audiogram. You can find the links in the description below, or you can go to the Letsrollpodcast.com. Find the links there, and as always, until next time, let's roll.
Hey, this is Jenny, and you're listening to the Let's Roll podcast with host Double R. Make sure you're following us on all of social media. Find the links below in the description or at the Letsrollpodcast.com.